Hi guys, today I decided to drive down into the state below mine, which is Maryland, and start a hike over at the Pretty Boy Reservoir, and this one is called the Hemlock Trail. So far it looks a little bit overgrown. Parking is limited, but I'll show you that in a second. So this is where I parked, and right across the road starts the trail. There's no sign, but it's on the map, and it looks just a little bit overgrown. But we're gonna see how it goes today. I'm currently battling a pretty bad case of poison ivy from weeding around my house, along with maybe 20 bug bites. So I put on a lot of ivy block, but we'll see how this goes. Okay. This is the trail, and I was warned by reviews on all trails that it was pretty overgrown. So, you know, it is what it is, but I haven't been out hiking in like 2 weeks because it's been so stinking hot, and then when it wasn't hot, it was pouring down rain. So I have to get out of the house. So you go up a slate ascent, which is very low grade. Still got me out of breath because I haven't even been walking or anything the last 2 weeks. And while it's not the 90-degree weather that we had been having, it's still in the 80s. It's about 2:30, I think, in the afternoon. But what I decided to do was just, so you can tell I'm out of breath, is just take my time and stop as much as I need to. Drink lots of water. This isn't a very long trail. I think it says 1.9, but there is supposed to be some rock scrambles, and from what some of the reviewers said, it's a little confusing, so that's why I'm going to take my time here. The cemetery even looks pretty overgrown. There's a grave knocked over there. You can see all the weeds. I guess you can actually go in it, but depends on, I guess, how interested you are in history and who was buried here. I really don't have a whole lot of interest in that at this point. Maybe sometime when I want to do some gravestone rubbings, I would come back and do them here, because they look to be some pretty interesting gravestones. Important note here, there's a trail this way, a trail that goes by the cemetery, and then one that goes straight ahead. The Hemlock Trail that I'm following on all trails says straight ahead. And right now I'm going downhill. So as you're going down the trail here, you can see where some trees have fallen over. But look, the path's pretty wide now, whereas it started out pretty narrow and overgrown. So I'm not upset. These little trees, there's 1, 2, 3 in a row here. They're easy to get around. So next you're going to do a stream crossing. You can go right across this area, or I think I'm gonna either put my water shoes on, yeah, because I don't want to get my feet wet just yet. But it's pretty shallow. It doesn't look like anything major. It's a pretty little stream. I'm assuming that most of the people I saw in the parking lot, they went down on the other side of the road. And when I was a kid, we used to come down to Pretty Boy and Gunpowder Creek to go swimming. So there's a watering hole. I'm assuming that's where they went. I didn't see anybody trying to do the trail, but oh, this feels so good. I just opted to take off my shoes and walk in it rather than put my water shoes on yet, because I think there's a couple more places where I'm going to need them, and I don't want to get them all wet yet. It's easy crossing, but very nice, cool water for sure. Lots of pretty ferns along this trail. Oh, I do apologize. I forgot to put my microphone on today. It's in my backpack, but I think I'm just gonna try to wing it and talk close to my phone. I can hear the water flowing beneath me up on this little ridge. After the creek crossing, stream crossing, you just go up and it's like a slight uphill. So I'm almost up to the highest point on this trail, which is about a little over 700 feet. So there's 2 inclines that go up to around 700. Right now, this is pretty much your view along the trail. Still very pretty. I expect the last part of the trail to be much more exciting, as we'll be going right along Hemlock Gorge. So this is the first tree fall I've seen blocking the path, but fortunately somebody made a little path around the tree, so it's really not that hard to get by. Okay, you'll come up to a second little stream. I think it's Silver Run. And it's kind of confusing right there because there's a path across the stream, but when I went on that, All Trails said I wasn't going in the right direction, so I came back across and I'm following this one out. And it still looks like I'm not following the exact green trail that they have on the app, but we're gonna see how long this takes me to get back on track here. I hate when All Trails does that. Okay, here's another juncture. You're coming through all this stuff, and there's a path that goes that way, but it kind of looks like I'm supposed to go this way to the left. It's all very overgrown, but I don't know. This looks like you cross a little stream down here. Maybe you're just crisscrossing across it. There's a waterfall. Oh, here we come up to something new. Okay guys, I tried to get up that really slippery, muddy hill, and I fell in the water like 3 times, so I am drenched from head to toe, full of mud. I came back up and I'm trying to follow the trail along this side of the creek. It looks like my GPS or whatever gave out or went into airplane mode at some point, but I seem to be back on trail now. Hopefully. Saw these really pretty rock formations right along this part, but I am walking through a lot of this, so you know, gotta watch my footing here, make sure there's no critters. But here is part of the Pretty Boy Reservoir and possibly Hemlock Gorge, if I'm following this correctly. Okay guys, well, that was quite an adventure. I sat down on a log just to regroup myself. I am literally soaked from head to toe and lots of mud, so I wanted to just kind of wash off and get my head back together. And in the interim, my All Trails decided that I was done with the trail, so it took me off of it. Thank God I had downloaded this one along with a couple others in this area, so I think I'm able to get back on it. But now we are really close to the water, so hopefully from here on out it'll be much easier and much more scenic, and it'll all have been worth it. It's a pretty little part of this. Lots of beautiful rocks. This All Trails app has me on both sides of this waterway, and honestly all I can do is pray that I'm going the right way. I don't know what the deal is. I did download the map and this does look like a trail, but ooh, how pretty, huh? Very pretty. And hopefully you can hear me. Like I said, I didn't put my mic on. I'm going to keep trying to go through here. It looks pretty rugged. So we'll see. Oh my goodness, what did I get myself into? So from what I'm reading, this is Gunpowder Falls. And I had to go up around all these rocks, which there's really no marked trail here at all. But they're very pretty. I wish I could zoom in on these. Let me zoom in on these. And right around here, when you get through, there's this cool looking little, looks like partially a cave. All these rocks, cave. And I'm gonna keep trying to get through all this. I don't know how well I'm gonna do. Oh my goodness. So I'm right here, and on the All Trails map it still says Gunpowder Falls. And they seem to go on for just a little bit. And then again, I think then we hit Hemlock Gorge. Still, like I said, a little bit confusing down here. There's no trail markers. You just kind of have to wing it. So having some kind of an app to keep you at least directionally correct is very much recommended. It seems to have become a better path though, since getting past those big, huge rocks and all that. But this is what's ahead. Seriously, I feel like Indiana Jones today. There is a little cave here. It's huge, but it's in the middle pile of all this stuff. I never dreamed that this would be so rugged. It was listed as moderate with some, moderate areas, but unless I'm doing it all wrong, which isn't out of the question, it's a little more rugged than I anticipated. Ah! Oh boy, that was a lot more rugged than I thought. My suggestion for anybody that's coming down here who wants to do this trail just to see the beautiful water and everything, and the water is extremely beautiful, is to start from and go the opposite direction, which would be counterclockwise. And I'm going to be coming out at that exit entrance point, the trailhead, so I will show you that. But for now, it looks like the trail once again might be getting a little easier, so I'm going to show you the beautiful waterfalls, the Hemlock Gorge waterway. Looks like the tree fall's been here for a little bit. I think people have made a way around this, so I'm going to go take my chances here. Yeah, just comes back out to the trail. Seen two couples, one with a dog that you can probably hear in the background. And they seem to be doing pretty well, but they hadn't hit any of the first areas that I went through, because this is only about 0.7 miles from the trailhead. And just look at this though. next time I will definitely come the other way because it is much more scenic this way, this side of the loop, and not so dangerous. There's another small water crossing here, but hey, what the heck, I'm already wet, so don't confront me none. There are just a ton of little falls and rapids all along this part of the trail, and the path now is lots better, and I am crossing my fingers for the third time now that this is going to stay easy, because after I said it the first two times there were some more really technical parts, but I think this, since it goes out, it's real close to the parking lot and a lot of people do come back through here, this is probably much easier. So, you know, and there's so many beautiful falls to look at. This is what the path has looked like for the past maybe 0.4 miles. Pretty easy, pretty visible, nothing dangerous. Some of the embankments are really slick with mud, like the one I slid down twice into the water on. But this here, there's plenty of room to walk. And again, where people had walked around some of this stuff and made their own trails. But you're right next to the water. Very beautiful. So you'll come up to this area where there's a bridge. I did go under it. It's very, very muddy. And it goes close to the water, but it's all bushwhacking on the other side of this. Now, my All Trails keeps going in and out. Keeps losing GPS, even though I have the map downloaded, which is far better than not. It keeps telling me I'm way far away from the trail. Right up here is literally the road, so I can't be that far off. This should be taking me right out to the parking where I started, and I should be very, very close now. Yep, here we are out at the road that I came in on, and right down there's my car. Boy, what an adventure today. I hate when I have a map downloaded and it keeps, the GPS goes out and for some reason it takes you all over the place. So they're definitely not foolproof. There's a sign here. No going into the water or on ice, no camping, no fires, no firearms, no dumping, no littering, no cutting wood, no alcohol. But boating and hunting are allowed with a permit. Blah, blah, blah. I used to come down here as a kid, like I said, and we all went down and swam right down here in this water. So I don't know what changed. Maybe there was some accidents, something like that. But it just seems to be like a lot of places. They close them down. So I'm finally home and I am just ready to get in the tub. I am covered with mud and kind of icky feeling. Let me show you what this looks like. This is the best I can do. Look at this. I am totally covered. I had my pants down. They're kind of rolled up now. They're just pretty much covered in mud, but I'm almost dry. So after I've got home and I've done everything, my bath and got something to eat, and I'm just kind of settling down for the evening, I wanted to close out the video like I usually do and talk a little bit about the trail itself. Like I said during the video, it is a very confusing trail. There are literally no trail markers the entire way. You just kind of have to wing it. Having the app that I have, it did help out, but it kept going into airplane mode. And when that happens, it kind of just goes in a straight line, and it just was having me zigzagging, and I couldn't figure out what it was doing, where I was supposed to be going. And at the one point, I was looking at a small stream crossing, but right across from it was a about 6 foot, 7 foot mud slope. And I tried for all that I had in me, even using my trekking poles, to get up that hill, that little mud embankment. And I slipped down it on my butt 2 times, and then a third time I just was standing up, and I fell again into the creek. So I was soaked. But once I got back on track, then I faced the obstacles of all the rock scrambles that are there. And when you're in these rock scrambles, you can't tell where the trail's going. If it's going up around the rocks, over the rocks, down under the rocks. And it just seems like no matter which way you look, it's treacherous. So you just kind of have to figure it out and hang on for dear life. I would definitely not call the trail from going clockwise moderate. Now, if you take the trail, it's like a couple of feet up. There's another entrance, which is where I came out from. If you start at that one and you go counterclockwise, you'll probably be okay, as long as you just, go through the pretty parts and then just go back, because it's just too confusing. I'm sorry. They should have done a better job of marking that out when they made it. But it was still fun, and I still got to see lots of pretty water. And I finally got out on trail after 2 weeks hiatus, so I'm happy. I hope you're happy, and namaste.